What's going on, Wise Take Nation? This is an NFL Wise Stream podcast. Holy God. I'm your host, Paulie D, and I'm joined once again by Mr. Patio Joe. What's going on, Joey?
Not much, man. It's Thursday. It's Wise Day. We're here talking NFL again. Me and Paulie. It's the best night of the week. Weekend's coming
ever.
up. Weekend's coming up. We had a football game tonight, which was started out as a snooze fest, and then they brought in the kid, and everything got a little bit more lively.
First victory in Cleveland.
First victory for Cleveland. So good for them.
Since when? Since
the last time since they beat the Chargers in 2016. It was like week 15 or something. Yeah. It was probably a missed field goal, most likely.
They did tie, so they were already showing us some progression, and this is a team heading in the right way. There's just nothing you can say about it. They are literally just heading in the right direction at this moment because
their defense is keeping them in games too.
Oh yeah, defense is legit. Their defense is legit, and I think Baker Mayfield, I think Tyrod Taylor was part of the problem. He had posted some horrifically graded first two games, so I like it. I'm cool. And I feel like you got to give the Browns some love. You just how can you not how can you root against the Browns from getting a little bit they haven't been in the playoffs, they haven't had winning season, it's been the most loss happy franchise in sports for the longest period of time. So I'm rooting for the Browns. I hope they have a good season.
They should be competitive. They should be competitive, keep themselves in games. And, they'll probably win maybe, I'd say 6-10, probably the best they can hope for. They won't be 6-10 now because they tied a game, but yeah. 6-9-1.
Yep.
So.
What did you think about last weekend, man? Patty Mahomes and Ryan Fitzmagic back-to-back weeks just dominating the slate.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, I think, is a little bit more surprising to me that he did it again. To the champs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Eagles. You know what I mean? So Mahomes, last week, we were coming here and saying we got to see it again, and he goes into Pittsburgh, and people forget that defense has not been the same since Ryan Shazier got hurt. They've given up just tons of points since last year when Shazier got hurt. Joe Hayden was out last week. That was even more, and they just came out there and just socked the Steelers in the mouth. And did what they had to do, and they won the game. And now they're coming home. And what were we gonna say?
Against one of the worst defenses out there, besides themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. In this game, you have a secondary that is just old. You can't. Richard Sherman is not going to be able to keep up with even Sammy Watkins, and I hate Sammy Watkins. I don't think I can ever. I don't really need to ever play Sammy Watkins. I'll play as somebody else.
He was in the Million-Maker winning lineup last weekend, but
yep.
I hear you.
Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Travis Kelce. The offense is ripe. I think the guy that is going to go a little bit overlooked is going to be Kareem Hunt this week.
You think he's going to be overlooked?
I think so. I think
interesting.
The thing about it is that the thing that makes him a little bit more I know on DK his price is a lot better than it is on FanDuel, which makes him way more enticing.
Mm-hmm.
On DK, he is he's 6,000 on DK.
Yeah.
He's right around where Gio Bernard is.
Yeah.
And Latavius Murray. That's ridiculous value at his price. On FanDuel, he's 7,900. He's up there with the big boys still. So,
what do you think is a ceiling target and reception total that he could have?
The most he'll have, because he's only had 2 targets all year.
One target, 1 catch, 5-yard touchdown in 2 games.
Yeah, I think maybe he can get 5 targets in a game. He can get 2 or 3 touchdowns. He could have a Melvin Gordon type game, like he had.
He definitely can.
I just don't know why. I think that the defenses are going to have to pick their poison. What are you going to do? Maybe they'll just they're going to have to sell out the hill. Kelce is going to wreak havoc over the middle. Hunt's going to get going to get some play. I can't see him not to. And on DK, I really like him more. FanDuel 7,900 with who's he's around. It's more of a GPP play, maybe a contrarian to get a piece of that game if you think that maybe somehow
that's interesting because like I look at Kareem Hunt similar to Adrian Peterson as like a FanDuel mainly running back. Not saying that you can't use him on DraftKings, but like I really prefer him on FanDuel. I know the price, like they priced it right, and like I got a guy and he's on Kareem Hunt too, and like I'm not even arguing against it. I do like Mahomes and the passing game a tad better, but I'm gonna have both. I'm gonna have this game like so much. I'm like, so this is like an interesting thing for me. Like, I'm mostly like a contrarian DFS player for the most part, right? And like the first 2 weeks, there was like clear kind of chalk games that like I had a little, but not really. And then there was like the Ryan Fitzpatrick and Mahomes like surprises that are now the new chalk. And like I've kind of been against Mahomes, and like normally like I like to just kind of like blindly defend my original position and like fight it to the death until it like beats me senseless, And like on this like mega chalk play, like I'm thinking about coming over to the dark side. And like I don't see how this game isn't like mega high scoring for DFS. And like I'm just like I think that's like you have to have a piece of this game. But it's weird. It's like against what's like natural to me, But it's like the nut spot of DFS that like I don't think we've seen a spot this great all that often. Like I don't see any way this isn't like a super high scoring game, at least on the Chiefs end. Like, do you think the Niners can hang in there?
I do. Well, I mean that Chiefs defense is terrible.
It's horrible. It really is.
The key to the game, and I think a lot of people in DFS, the ones we're waiting on one guy. If Marquise Goodwin plays, I think he's going to be able to stretch the field, get down the field. So he has a thigh bruise. So, he's a sprinter. So if he can't get his full speed, like obviously it's going to affect him. You got to think about this. He's had 10 touchdown passes in 2 games. That he can't keep that up. It's like at some point he's gonna throw a pass and they're gonna get tackled at the 1 3 times in one game, and Hunt's gonna run in all 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It definitely will happen.
And then you'll be like, damn, dude, I wish I had Hunt.
Yeah, I'm just playing them both. I will have Hunt teams, and then I'll have Mahomes in the receiving. I don't think on DraftKings or even really FanDuel, I'll be combining Hunt and Mahomes, though. I think those will stay separate. Those will be 2 different types of teams for me. And I'll bring back San Francisco and more of the Mahomes teams, but I'll also have some San Francisco. And, like, if Goodwin's in, then, like, I'll be playing Goodwin and, like, less on some of those, like, value stuff, like, guys like Trent Taylor and what's that other dude's name on the Niners? Pettis. Yeah. But if Goodwin's out, then I think those guys are just like super phenomenal value plays on DraftKings. Like Dante Pettis has like explosive big ADOT stats, and he's got like cash game, like high target, like low, like good floor stats. So like I'm playing someone on San Francisco. I like Kittle as well, but I would strongly recommend having this game involved. And it's by far the highest total. Like, I'm not telling you anything, like, world shattering here, but, this game, like, last week, there was, like, the Green Bay game, the Minnesota offense, because of that overtime period, like, boosted all those guys' stats,
Agreed.
And then you had Fitzpatrick, but otherwise, no other game really kind of came close to what this game offered. And I think you're getting the same situation here with this Chiefs. Andy Reid's got them running on all cylinders against a horrible defense, first home game. Like, and I broke down some of Mahomes' tape. Like, he's not like getting lucky. He's doing all the right things, like moving the safeties with his eyes and creating passing lanes, and like, he's taking off with the ball here and there, like eluding some pressure. San Fran's not going to bring any pressure. Like, He's got weapons. Tyreek Hill and Marquise Goodwin have had like a little Twitter war about like who's faster.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and then Travis Kelce, he's getting the most targets in this offense. And tight end the first 2 weeks has like, if you paid up, you outscored the field by like 15 or 20 points on DraftKings. Like week 1, it was Gronkowski. He scored like a 30. And then Kelce at 5% scored about a 30 last week as well. And then like the next closest guy was like 15, 16. Like the tight end pay up really set you apart. So like Travis Kelce in this spot, home run in my opinion. And it's like, why not pair him up with Mahomes? Mahomes is $7K on DraftKings, and DraftKings is really like the price player pool for quarterbacks is like 5,500 to 7. Like they've really tightened the gap. It used to be like from 5K to like 8K, and that's why people would pay down. But now like the best quarterbacks are kind of cheap. It's weird, So like I'm very fine going to get Mahomes, especially with all that injury value that's opened up.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a couple things that you brought up that I want to get to. The first thing is, I texted you like how like I want to do the double tight end stack this week on FanDuel. I want to do with Kittle and I want to do with Kelce. But another guy I want to bring up is Breda. Okay, like you got to think the Chiefs have given up 20 receptions to running backs in the first 2 weeks. That's 10 receptions per week. Yep. Breda's going to be the guy in there because there's no way this is going to be a grinded out Alfred Morris game. And if it is, it means somebody got hurt or whatever. It's something weird has happened.
Everything has gone wrong if it's an Alfred Morris week.
Breda. I'm telling you, I like him even more because he's going to be involved in the passing game. Yep. He's going to get those targets. He's going to get those drop-offs that like Gordon got, that Eckler got, that Connor got. It's like it just seems like it's so easy that like he like with your stack you could have Mahomes, you could have Breda, you could have Goodwin and Kittle with Kelce and Hill, and that's it. Go to war with that, and you could fit in another high-priced player from another game because of that value with
all that value.
Breda and Goodwin, whatever.
I did a build on the strat session today like that, and like I mean I reviewed a team who had 6 guys in his roster from that Pittsburgh Chiefs game that came in I think second in the Millie Maker. Like you can have 5-6 guys from one game, especially these crazy high total games, and be fine. Like you're not sacrificing value and upside on your team by doing that. You're actually like increasing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's the way that you win these tournaments is that you get the ping pong effect, the tennis ball effect, like we say.
Correlation. It just all like it just gets it rolling.
And you're just watching both series is going back and forth and back and forth. And it's funny. This game is you look at the other side, and I don't mind playing Jimmy G if you wanted to open up, still have Kelce and Hill and get a piece of Mahomes, because if you would just hope that all of Mahomes' touchdowns go to them.
Yep.
And you could still, and that might open up a little bit more, and it's a little bit contrarian. Jimmy G's not a bad cash game play this week too.
Yep. You can go there.
That secondary is god awful. It's like the Saints 3 years ago. Remember, and they were just playing those shootouts every week.
Yes.
You follow the Chiefs secondary, and I think you'll be okay. So far, Rivers put up over 400.
Yeah, and the Steelers
and bended. So
and I think Garoppolo should. If they were playing like a Cardinals, I'd be more like, all right, this is a Chiefs blowout. But I think San Francisco will hang with them. But that's
they know that they're going to have to put up points. I don't think that they're I don't think Shanahan's going to be like, okay, we're going to do 3 clouds and a pile of dust and wait till the last second to snap the ball. You know what I'm saying? Trying to so they keep the ball. They might obviously if they win the toss they might get the ball, but they're not going to. I just don't feel like Shanahan's going to be like, okay, I can win this game by grinding it out.
So on DraftKings, on like one site's ownership projections, they got Kareem Hunt around 20K, around 20%. And they got Matt Breida under 10%.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just price-wise, too. It's not even...
And at quarterback, they got Mahomes the highest and Jimmy Garoppolo the second on the whole slate. So that's, some perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end is the position I'm most interested in. Kelsey, they got the highest, under 20, and Kittle under 10. Like, I'm just going to be over the field on those guys, And then let's take a look at Tyreek, the receivers. Dude, Sammy Watkins got, they just decided, last week, you're our guy. And they let him get, 2 reverses. They threw, 6 balls at him, and he just produced. But I agree. He's the last one that I really want. They got Tyreek pretty up there. Goodwin, 12. Goodwin's, really important to me. If Goodwin's not there, that makes Breida that much better of a play to me. That makes Pettis that much better of a play. You might even be able to go to Garcon. There's really no one good in that Chiefs secondary. There's no more Marcus Peters. He's out, getting himself ready for the Pro Bowl and on that Rams defense. But definitely a marquee game. Let's talk about another game. Which one do you want? Oh, you want to talk about your boys, right?
Yeah. Let's go out to the afternoon.
The Battle of Los Angeles.
Afternoon stand. The Battle of Los Angeles, where Patio Joe will be there.
Oh,
Los Angeles on Sunday. That's right.
Nice.
As the Los Angeles Chargers travel to the Coliseum to take on the Los Angeles Rams. It's going to be kind of weird to watch a pro game there because for so long I've watched SC there.
Okay.
So
it's in USC Stadium, or that's where you've seen the Rose Bowl? Okay.
That's where the Rams play, is where SC plays. So this game is very interesting to me. I think there's a few ways it can go. The skeptical Charger fan in me believes that McVay's just going to blitz the hell out of them, and Rivers is just going to be under siege all day, and it's going to be tough for them. But I got a question to say. I got a question to ask you. There's no team in the NFL that started off with 2 easier games than the Los Angeles Rams. So how good are they really? They played the Raiders and the Cardinals, 2 teams that are in turmoil with almost zero identity. Every team is just they finally have somewhat of a credible team that has an offense with
weapons.
Keenan Allen, Gordon, Eckler, Mike Williams, Tyrell Williams. They're going to come at you. Rivers is just they're just going to throw the ball and they're going to dump it. They're going to dink and dunk. They're going to do what they do, and we're going to see how good this Rams team is, because don't forget, I don't think they're going to overlook the Chargers just because it's a Los Angeles team. So it's obviously it's your rival, but it's not a road game for the Chargers. It's not like they're going to travel anywhere. But also the Rams got to play next Thursday night at home against the Vikings. So
looking ahead syndrome.
Maybe. I don't know. The way I look at it is, though, if you want to play the Rams offense, this is finally going to be the game where I feel like you could really play the Rams offense and get something out of it, because you have a partner with them that's going to put up points with them. If you want to stack this game, I think you can. I think you have to.
I think you have to stack. That's the only way you approach this game. I think there's a road to the Rams being fucking sick right now and shutting even the Chargers down.
Yeah. But, no, what did I say? That was the first thing I said.
Yeah,
blitzing them, and they're
possible. Dude, they got 2 lockdown cornerbacks that have been graded and allowed less yards than single cornerbacks. Them 2 are so high above the rest of the field right now and what they've allowed. I know it's been bad opponents, but they're still doing what they're supposed to do with the opponents that have been put in front of them. It's not like they've let them hang in. They shut out the Cardinals last week. It was never in question. So we'll see. I do think the Chargers are veteran enough and talented enough to hang with the Rams. I wish Bosa wasn't out. I think he's such a big linchpin to that defense, and without him, I even saw the Bills kind of moving the ball on the Chargers a little bit last week with a rookie quarterback. I thought the Chargers D should have done better. So I think their defense isn't fully there.
Let me give you a little bit of a somebody brought up something on Twitter, and I kind of agree with them on that point. Okay. The Chargers were up, I think it was 28-0 or something. Yeah. I mean, it was, everybody knew that the game was over, and the guy said sometimes teams just go to basically like, we're just going to show you our base package.
Yeah.
We know you're not. We're not going to
prevent defense, and
we're not going to show you anything else on offense.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? We're just going to go back to very vanilla. We're not going to try anything. So because they don't want anybody else to see what they got. So that I could see that. Yeah, I wasn't too happy. The Bills kind of got back in the game a little bit too much for my taste, but.
That's what the Chargers do. Like,
yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's why they won't win this game.
Yeah.
But they'll keep it close because it's very rare for the Chargers to get blown out and like shut out. They always keep it close and then just lose it again.
Or they'll have the lead and blow it late. You know.
Yeah.
And if they have a lead, this game stat could go off. Like I like Jared Goff. I like really any of his receivers, but I in particular like Robert Woods a lot. You know, Gurley's definitely in a plus matchup. And then like Melvin Gordon, like he could just go crazy in this game. Like they're going to be dumping it off to him with that pass rush as you alluded. They've already shown like when they're behind, they could throw to him. I think it was 13 times in week 1 against the Chiefs. Like Melvin Gordon is very, very safe because he's going to get, a minimum of 6 catches, I would say, right? And like his touchdown upside is likely. There's 48 projected points here. The Chargers are supposed to score 3 touchdowns. Like he'll probably have one of them.
And that's why I like Eckler too, because I think they are going to be down. And once they're going to be down, they're going to be doing more packages where he's going to be coming in, catching some screens, catching some balls out of the backfield too, resting Gordon. I mean, he's been viable both weeks. His price is like on FanDuel. His price is like $5,200 or something.
What's his DraftKings price? He's really more of a DraftKings back, and he had two touchdown games last year where he was fantasy viable. I mean, that's like for deeper tournaments. But if the price is right, I'm looking for.
He's $5,600 on FanDuel.
On FanDuel. All right, we'll see what he is on DraftKings. That's like the site that I'm really interested in.
And then,
which pass catcher would be your first play from San Diego? Because there's not an easy answer, I don't think.
From San Diego, I'm always going with Keenan Allen first.
Really? Marcus Peters, even against Aqib Talib?
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this: Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. Aqib Talib played for Denver. Marcus Peters played for the Chiefs. Keenan Allen's seen them both. I don't. He's never been shut down, and they move him in the slot a lot too. So that's why I'm not like if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick Keenan Allen. But if I had to pick another one, I mean, the thing is that I feel like it's basically, dump offs to the running backs and targets to Keenan Allen, and then there's not really consistent targets anywhere else. Like even Tyrell, Eckler's $4,400 on DraftKings. That's the price.
All right. Corey Clement is 4-3. Like, we'll see. Jay Ajayi. If Jay Ajayi plays, maybe Eckler's a pivot off of Corey Clement.
That's a great pivot. So, but yeah, I see the Rams winning this game. But I think the Chargers will keep it close. I think they'll put up some points, and it'll make it to where if you're stacking this game, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other game, if you were to stack, do you think could go off as a game stack? The only other one that I could think of, that just from right now, is New Orleans Atlanta.
That's like the obvious one. And
what's the other obvious one? No, what's the other ones you could think of? Maybe
the ones that I think have potential to that are like much less obvious are the Broncos Ravens game. That's risen 1.5. Both those teams are playing very fast, and like I just see a lot of passing. I see a lot of like longer plays and clock not moving.
Andy Dalton embarrassed the secondary.
The Ravens D. Yeah, he did.
So they got CJ Mosley back, so I know that's going to help. But I think that I think that's a game that is very underrated. I think that if you wanted just first look, like the Jacksonville, whoever Malcolm Butler is going to be covering, I like as a one-off because Malcolm Butler has been burned like multiple times the first 2 weeks. That's one of the reasons why he didn't start in the Super Bowl.
Who beat him? Who's been burning him so far?
Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills.
In week 1, and then week 2, the Houston. It was Fuller.
Yeah, Fuller. Okay.
So,
all right.
So we got Keelan Cole.
Yeah, Keelan Cole.
Probably, and then I also like the stack of the Houston stack too.
Houston Giants. So that's another game I think can go off. Houston is playing crazy fast. They're running a lot of no huddle. And the Giants last year were one of the fastest teams. When they come from behind, they've shown that they can go like pretty much all pass, all shotgun. And then they ran like the 4th most no huddle. And like it's just another game where I can see like exactly who you're going to play. It's going to be Watson, Nuke, and Fuller. And then with the Giants, it would be Saquon and Odell. You know, it's like those guys. And if that game happens to stay close and go back and forth, like last week, the Texans, like the Titans' O-line was so battered. It's worse than what the Giants are going to put in front of Houston. And Houston didn't fucking get to the quarterback at all. So if they're not going to get to Eli, like we're going to move the ball on them, and they're going to move the ball on us. Like Watson is a stud, and he's at home, and those guys on the carpet, they're going to move the ball. The Giants' D is not like there yet. You know what I mean? So that's another one.
My GPP wide receiver of the week is Will Fuller. 5 games started with Deshaun Watson. 21 receptions, 392 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Yep.
You can't be. They have chemistry. That's all you could say.
And they're like best friends.
Yeah. When Fuller plays, Watson feeds him. I mean, last week you fed him. So it's like I feel like you could do your game stack and then just do a one-off with Will Fuller, and you could fit him in because he's not that expensive on FanDuel and your GPPs, and I love it. I love his upside, you know. So, yeah, and like John said in the chat room, I know Vernon's out and Apple's got an ankle injury or something. He's questionable. So
it's a game with upside. You know, there's going to be one of these games that's like kind of Vegas under totaled, right? Because this Bengals Carolina game I could see going off. It's another total that's been rising. And like the Carolina Panthers, first of all, the Bengals have a cornerback. His last name is Williams. He's one of the best man-to-man coverage corners that's going to shadow Funchess, right? The Carolina offense is essentially Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey. And on the Bengals, the Carolina Panthers, they just got crushed by Tevin Coleman, right? We've seen who's the running back for the Bengals that's starting this week?
Gio
Bernard have the lead back role like for 3 weeks last year, and he got massive usage, and he produced. He's pretty much the same kind of play as Tevin Coleman, who just ran for 100+ and a touchdown and caught a couple balls. We saw today in the strat sesh that not only is Gio getting a lot of targets already, even with Mixon there, like he's getting decent air yards as well. So like he's got home run hitting potential against his Carolina D. We know who to play on Carolina. The Ravens came back. Yeah, he's very safe. He's very, very safe. His usage on DraftKings, like with the receptions, it's too high, you know? So like that game as well, you know? But
do you have any crossout games? Dallas, Seattle, maybe?
Probably. No. I'm going to be using somebody in that game for sure.
And like Chicago, Arizona.
That game you can cross out except for the Bears D. Like there's nothing else I have interest in there.
Buffalo, Minnesota. I think Minnesota D, and then if Dalvin Cook is out, I'm all in on Latavius Murray.
On FanDuel, especially
on cash on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Lock it in. I mean, another thing we're going to be looking at, guys. Jay out, Boyd Clement.
Yeah.
Cash game lock. It's just not. This is the week where you can pay down at running back. Now,
at both running back spots.
Now, I do think though, the number one running back of the week in that I think ownership is going to be Kamara.
You think it's going to be Kamara?
You can't just the fact of they gave up so much to McCaffrey last week.
Mm-hmm.
His team's just going to be – I mean, they're just going to draw up these plays for Kamara out of the backfield, and they're not going to be able to cover him.
Projection systems agree with you there, and like I see it on DraftKings. I honestly think he's a little expensive, and like even if he gets 30, like that might not be enough. You know what I mean? With all these value plays that might go like 5, 6, 7x, him just getting a 30 is like 3x. So like you almost need him to go for 40 potentially on this slate. So like I'm 50-50 on this game. This game I'm going to spend some more time on, and like this we'll kind of pivot into like some other kind of segments after this. But this game last year, they see each other a lot, twice a year, sometimes in the playoffs. And last year, both times this game barely got over 40 total points.
Yeah, it doesn't blow out.
The ball, the Falcons are slow. But 2 years ago, and like every year prior to that, this game was always a shootout, you know? And like Julio Jones is definitely in play here. I don't even care that like there's a good corner on him because he's been getting beat so far this year, and like you're gonna get Julio much lower owned, and really no corner can shut him down if they just go to him. You know, it's just will they or not. You know, and with Freeman out and less like high target potential guys out there, I think there's a good opportunity for Julio, and he's a guy I don't need to pair with Ryan. Like I'm fine pairing him with Ryan, but he may just be like a one-off into a lineup if I have the money. The Saints, like they've been throwing the third most out of anyone in football this year, and like it's clearly because Ingram's out and Kamara's not as good running between the tackles, especially against like stout D lines. And they're going to move the ball through Michael Thomas and through Alvin Kamara. And I think you can play Drew Brees in cash, and I think you can play Drew Brees in tournaments with those two. And it's like clearly those two. There's other options on the Saints, but like those are GPP darts. But Michael Thomas, Kamara, Drew Brees, it's expensive as shit, but that they could all go for over 30 if this game goes off. And I'll have a little bit of that, but I think this game's going to be like the second most popular, and like I'm like more apt to stay away from that game. Like I'll just throw more shares into that Chiefs 49ers game.
Calvin Ridley, $5,000 on FanDuel.
Yeah, like I don't.
He goes for if he does exactly what he does last week, I'm gonna be fine.
What do you get? 16.
4 for 64 for a touchdown.
Yeah, like how many FanDuel points is that?
15.
15 at 5K. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. It's not great, but it's good. I mean, to me it shows.
How much is Nelson Aguilar?
63. I think
63.
66.
Okay.
He's 66.
Oh wow! All right. He's like much closer on DraftKings, and like that's just the guy I was thinking. There's a bunch of like high upside cheap receivers out there this week, and
Tyler Lockett.
I love Tyler Lockett.
I also think Allen Robinson is a guy that you might want to be looking at. And I know that they're going to say he's going to be getting on Patrick Peterson. Does Peterson go in the slot?
Nah, he don't go in the slot.
Robinson's been playing a lot in the slot.
Has he?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's really had some nice ADOT statistics as well. So,
John Brown, that's another name. 6,200.
And Jaron Brown, but more John Brown. But yeah, they stuck out as well.
I think it. You find so much value at receiver, and you find value at running back that it's that's why you can pay up for Mahomes this week and pay up for Kelsey.
Yep. Exactly.
And what about defenses? I mean, to me, it's Vikings. That's my top defense of the week. And then you got the Bears, Jags.
You can play the Rams D too. Like even if that game scores well, like there's a possibility for a Phillip Rivers pick 6.
Oh yes.
There's a possibility for a couple sacks from the Rams D. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can play them as well. But yeah, I like obviously the Vikings defense the best. Like against the rookie defense, I like Chicago's D. I like Jacksonville's D. I'm trying to find a cheaper defense that I'm interested in, and like a piece of me thinks the Chiefs at home with like punt return potential out of Tyreek Hill and like Garoppolo, like it's only really his 7th game ever starting. Like he could throw a pick, there could be a fumble. Like I think that you could take a stab at a Chiefs defense for cheap.
What about Dolphins?
I think the Dolphins make sense. I personally though think that like Derek Carr is going to have a good game. I don't think the Dolphins' defense is that good. And
No, they're not.
And like
Only
that,
because
that game could be a little more high scoring. I don't really like the Dolphins. Like I think people are talking about that, and I think Derek Carr is actually going to have like a "I'm still here, guys" kind of game, and like that game could shoot out as well. You know,
you want to build a little quick
yeah,
lineup
we
here?
can build some lineups real quick. Before we do that, I want to do like a quick 1v1 segment, like two guys at a position. I just got a couple I want to like bounce off you, and then we'll move over. So, for tournaments, Cam Newton is 6,200, and Russell Wilson is 6K versus the Cowboys. Which guy do you like better?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I think Cam Newton is like more cash viable for me, and like a little less in tournaments. And I think Russ Wilson would be like the guy I'd use in tournaments. But I'm all right with either. Patrick Mahomes or Drew Brees?
No, I mean I wrote down that if you're going to pivot off of Mahomes, if you're going to pay up and you're going to pivot, Brees is the guy you're going to pivot to. But most of the time, I'm just going to stay with Mahomes.
All right. At running back, Christian McCaffrey at 7,800 or Melvin Gordon at 7,400? McCaffrey. I think that's close, but
yes.
I agree. I think McCaffrey is like as close to like a cash game lock running back as it gets, unless too much value pushes him out of that. And then at receiver, do you want Michael Thomas or do you want Julio Jones?
Michael Thomas.
He's about 1,000 more expensive on DraftKings. Here, so he's 89 and Julio's 79.
Oof. Julio's upside is just as high or higher.
Yeah.
Thomas. Price considered, I'm going to take Julio.
Yeah. And like I think you might have, teams with like Julio and Michael Thomas possibly, like, or Kamara and Julio, but I think Thomas is the better play, but like that price is really like it kind of makes me go to Julio.
They're only $300 apart on FanDuel. So.
Yeah, that's tougher there. Like I may play Thomas there and Julio on DraftKings. DeAndre Hopkins at 83 or Odell Beckham at 82?
Odell,
yeah. Like, it's clearly him, and, like, DeAndre, maybe you get snaked by Fuller. Adam Thielen or Stephon Diggs? Same price.
Diggs?
Yeah, I'm moving off of Team Diggs onto Team Thielen. It's the first time that I'm saying go Thielen over Diggs, and he's just
I said Diggs.
I know you said Diggs. I'm saying this. I'm going Thielen, yeah. Okay. And he's just getting more targets, and I'm just gonna stick with the volume, especially on DraftKings. And we'll do one last one. Tight end. Give me Kelsey or Ertz.
Kelsey.
Yeah, I think it's Kelsey. Also, I'll probably have a lineup with Kelsey and Ertz and be different that way with the double tight end pay up.
We have a question right here in chat.
All right.
Thoughts on Clement plus or minus 18 touches? He'll have more than 18 touches if Ajayi's out because there's going to be no Sproles. I love him for cash. He's going to get volume.
Yeah, I mean, I think 18 is about right. I think he'll get like 10 targets and 7 to 10-ish carries. Like, they will run Wendell Smallwood too. But I like Clement a whole lot. I like Clement a whole lot. They called up
that rookie Adams or something. I'm not 100%.
Oh, okay. And then they also called up Jordan Matthews at receiver.
And this is Carson Wentz's first game back. So they might want to have a grind it out. Maybe the Eagles.
He's been practicing for a month though, Carson Wentz. Just so you know.
All right, let's do a quick build here. Let's start off with FanDuel. Let's do a tournament team. Paulie. Let's do that.
Tournament team? All right, well, FanDuel usually lets you get everything you want, so I'm just going to, like, go through the wish list and give me Kelsey at tight end and give me Mahomes at quarterback.
All right.
All right.
Kelsey at tight end and Mahomes at quarterback.
Yeah.
All right.
Throw me a defense in there. I just like to kind of get an idea of what I'm working with.
You want to go with the Vikings?
Like
For the Bears.
What's the price differential?
600, 4,300 for the Bears.
Yeah, give me the Bears for now.
All right.
All right, so what are we working with? What we got left?
We got 65.50 per slot, and we got
50 per
6 slots.
Okay. All right. Can you give me Kittle at tight end?
All right. We'll put in the flex. All right.
Is there any possible way to get Kamara and Julio into this lineup? Or am I asking too much?
No, I think it'll work.
Wow. Okay. So
Let's
then
see. Hold on.
Get me some pay downs. Get me
So the running back, we would have to be as low as we want. It would have to be.
What's the
Clement is 5,800. We have Eckler at 5,600.
What's the Bengals running back?
Gio is 64.
Okay.
Yeah, 64.
That's
Breda at 62.
Breda at 62. That's probably too high. Give me the Clement.
Clement at 58.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, Deion Lewis is right there too. Nice. All right.
So that leaves us with 5,150 with two players.
Okay. Let's see what that offers. Didn't you have a receiver at 5K that you liked?
That was Calvin Ridley. But
or Geronimo Allison right there. I like too. 5K.
Yeah. Danny Amendola. And Ryan Grant, by the way, guys, Ryan Grant might T.Y. Hilton missed practice. Jack Doyle's got a hip.
Yep.
So like Ryan Grant might be the only guy there.
Left in town. That's interesting. Or Ebron.
Oh, and another guy is Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, he got a
4,700.
lot of work.
He got 6 and 9 targets for 91 yards in the last game.
Yeah.
And a touchdown against the Ravens. Andy Dalton just praised him. I'm gonna go with him with a one-off. That leaves us with 5,600. And that would be opens up a little bit more. Thierry Garçon, if you wanted to go, I mean that's a good way to bring it back on that lineup if you wanted Kittle too. If we got it up to 58, we could get Marquise Goodwin. So we would have to drop the defense maybe, or
no, like go from Kamara to Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want Kamara, but I don't know if I have to get him, especially on FanDuel. Like he needs to score some touchdowns there. What does that leave us with on the other side?
54.
And now we could either improve Tyler Boyd or improve Corey Clement. I'm with that. I like this kind of idea. I want to get as much exposure. If Goodwin is out, then I probably move Boyd to like a Pettis and then Goodwin up or down from there. But I like that I can get a lot of what I want here.
Yeah, not bad. So and it's kind of you get a little bit of all the games. Definitely like that Tyler Boyd call, 4,700. Keelan Cole, that's right. Keelan Cole, that was another one I said, but he's a little bit too expensive.
Yeah,
but I like his matchup this week too. We already pointed him out.
Yeah, or Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Allen Robinson's cheap too. Yeah. All right.
Let's move to DraftKings.
We're not gonna be able to do that.
No. So let's go with. I wanted to do a cash game for DraftKings and see what you say. For DraftKings, I want to go with 5,700 Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan
at 5,700. That's pretty good value. What do you think?
I mean, I think his rushing touchdowns last week is a big fluke, and like.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, of all those, look at the quarterbacks in that area.
Yeah, I like Cam at 6K.
All right.
But whatever, we can leave Ryan. I'm just like I think you don't need to pay down at quarterback this week on DraftKings in cash. I want to like guarantee points, you know. But are you playing Kamara in cash on DraftKings?
9,500. That's too expensive.
It's really high, but it's doable. But I think McCaffrey is like very, very close.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll go with McCaffrey.
Would you go Gio Bernard? Would you go like Clement? Those guys are going to be popular on DraftKings this week.
Yeah, I would probably right now because we know for sure Gio
Bernard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Clement is so much cheaper.
We could put him at flex. We could put him at the flex.
Let's lock in a defense. Since it's cash, we're just going to go with the Vikings.
Mm-hmm. You do get significant savings to the Bears, so like that, just keep that in your hip pocket.
Yeah.
Tight end, I think it's got to be one of those two.
Kittle or Kelsey?
Kelsey or Ertz.
All right, let's go with Kelsey.
You know, like Ajayi being out also boosts Ertz. Ertz is leading that team in targets. Him and Wentz had a tremendous relationship. Like, Wentz has been practicing for a month. They're playing against a terrible pass defense. I can kind of go on and on. So what do we got per player here?
5,100. That's not a lot.
Tough. It's tough on DK. You can't just play everybody that's good.
Yeah.
Julio's gonna be tough get, but you know, I don't know if I think we gotta immediately discount either off of
Vikings D.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not gonna. Bears D's got just as much, yeah. You know, all right, that gives us a little more. I mean, there's definitely value receivers. I'm just debating like whether maybe we should come off Kelsey or not. We'll see. You know, we'll see like what. Go get yourself your valuest receiver. Let me see if I can make some suggestions for you.
Tyler Boyd, 3,700.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd, 3,700 is definitely appealing. Let me see. Who do I got down low? Tyler Lockett is, I think he's around 5K. Yeah, I guess Tyler Boyd is going to have to go for this build right now.
We're going to have to go off of Kelsey, I think.
Yeah, we can come down. How much difference is it from Kelsey to Ertz?
No, Ertz is more expensive.
More expensive? Oh, okay.
All right. Now, Kittle is 4,500.
Yeah. All right. I'm all right with that.
So then that opens up. Now we're at 6,700 with receiver. Now we got, Sanders, Aguilar, Fuller, Keelan Cole.
I mean, I think you can go to Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders has got an amazing matchup this week.
He does.
The slot corner is not going to be able to cover him. All right. Lock that in.
Lock it in, baby.
All right, guys. By the way, guys. All right, listen. All you guys that's listening there in the YouTube right now in the chat, okay, we're going to give you guys the opportunity to get a week's worth of content here at the Y State for free. Week 4 content. That means you're going to get the Y stream on Saturday night leading up to week 4, not week 3, it'll be week 4.
All the
You gotta get the
articles,
articles coming out, everything. Expert poll,
the
GD
model.
article, the model, yeah, everything. So,
What's
and
the contest?
let's see. I'm gonna take out my screen share. Did I take it off?
Yeah.
All right,
Yep,
good.
you're back.
I'm back. Okay, good. So, so the contest is the most inventive comment down at the bottom. So you got to like the page, and then you got to comment at the bottom, and whatever makes us laugh the most, that person's gonna get week 4 content at the Wise Take Nation for free.
So bring the heat.
Bring the heat. Make us laugh. You know what? If you have to slam me or Paulie, go right ahead. We can take it. It's okay. We can deal with the hate. We know you guys love us. So whatever you guys want. We want you to like it and then comment down with something nice and funny to make me and Paulie and CK in the back, of course, laugh. You know, everybody, CK's in the back. He got his hair down right now, guys. He's just combing his hair right now. It's fall time in New York, so it's still humid, but he's just combing his hair in the back. You're going to text me in a second going, dick.
It's perfect time to mention, if you have not checked out the Wise Take Nation, I do not know what you are waiting for. We've got honestly a tremendous package for football, and the Slack chat is just like 24/7. You can get in there and chop up the slate with people. It's really just been an awesome addition, and you getting content from pretty much everyone within Wise Take who knows what they're talking about, and you can kind of get the different ideas and formulate your own type of lineups, and then go into the chat and talk to them about people and make some decisions. It's truly a very good DFS community, and we've had a lot of people winning money out of the community. So jump on, check us out. The week package for the NFL is like $7.99, but I recommend getting the monthly. Try it out for a week, and if you like it, go grab that monthly so you can get in the Slack chat. If you are watching on YouTube, on iTunes, on Podbeam, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, any other platform that I may have forgotten, please do your part. Like, share, support the nation, help us do what we do, and bring the fun DFS content week in and week out. Joe, anything you want to say before we get out of here? You want to do a Pat Mahomes rant and let him be the nut of the slate? Anything?
No, man, you know what? Nothing really got mad this week. You know, the penalties, me even the referee, man, I feel bad for some of these penalties. I don't even get what these guys can do anymore.
The one in the Packers game on Clay Matthews was atrocious. If you haven't seen that, you need to go see that. It almost
looked to me from the eye, I saw it, it almost looked like he was trying to hold up too.
Yeah.
Like he went in, he was like, no, I'm not going to do it that way.
It was the perfect form tackle. The ball was intercepted, or like they didn't get the third down completion, and we're going to punt, and the Packers had the lead. Like, that totally blew that game. And yeah, I understand it's a rule, and like it's not the ref's fault. They're calling. I mean, that was a mistake, but like the league is telling them to like call the game that way. And like I understand this player's safety, but there's got to be a line. Like I tweeted out a few weeks ago, or put in the Slack, like, hey, we're not too far away from two-hand touch on the quarterback.
We're not. It's not. Think.
It's crazy.
Might as well just do it, because how else do you want to know? I mean, it's just too tough for these players, you know?
And that impacted DFS so much, because that took all the Kirk Cousins, Devontae Adams, Diggs, and Thielen stacks to winning Millie Makers, because they got that extra quarter, you know?
Well, you know, people, like, I've been listening to some things, and I've been thinking about it myself, that these new rules are benefiting
offenses,
receivers way more than running backs.
Yep, going to be a much higher scoring league. The running backs are turning into slot receivers.
Yeah, so it's almost like, you know, you maybe need to invest in your receivers more and not worry about the running backs as much, because the receivers are the ones that are going to be getting opportunities.
That's my biggest problem with Kareem Hunt, is one target in 2 weeks, and I'm just like, I'm looking for targets from receivers. But I will have some Kareem Hunt exposure, more so on FanDuel. Last thing that I'll say on the way out is, like, the overtime tie thing has got to go. Like, we only have 16 weeks. There can't be ties in football. Like, figure out a system that eventually has a winner. Like, no more ties. That's got to go. Like, we've had a tie each week, and like, it's just change. It makes like, predicting like the playoff races that much harder, and it's just like they don't even have ties in baseball in a 162 game season. Like, football with 16 weeks should not have it.
Yeah, I don't know what the if they would have went 5 more minutes, would have it helped? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know what they should do then is they should almost, after that point, you go to the college system.
Yep.
After 10 minutes, then you go to the college system,
Yeah. I don't even care if after that it goes to like 50-yard field goals and until someone misses, like just something. I don't really want it to be that, but like just something that predicts that gets you a winner at the end of this thing. Because like, it's just really stupid that we have ties in this league. That's going to do it for me and Patio Joe. Come check us out next week. Good luck this weekend in all of your DFS contests. For Patio Joe, for myself, for the entire Wise Take Nation, we are out.
Peace.